Everyone, thank you so much for coming. My name is Mila Rioja. I'm actually from Brazil. I am with Cello Foundation, and what I would like to discuss with you today is more of a proposition of maybe us working together towards the advancement of Latin America, the region that I love. So this, whoopsie. This was supposed to be working. Let's do it again.
Try again.
Maybe go back to your. Where's your cursor? Oh, there it is.
It's here.
You gotta get. There you go.
Slideshow. Let's do it again. Okay, perfect. So this is the agenda for the day today. Ideally, I wanted us to take a peek at Latin America together, mainly at two different aspects. The first one is like, what's crypto like in Latin America? A bit is going to be written down there, some other bits I'm going to be talking. Then I would like to show you some of the events that are taking place there, not only Ethereum events, but who are hosting these events, what are they like, and who are the people engaging it. Afterwards, I would like to show some real world use cases, because adoption is not only high in Latin America, but also we have very interesting things that are going on through the works of different developers working on open source solutions. And thirdly, based on everything that we see here together, maybe make you guys an invitation, which is like considering the status of the development of Latin America, everything that is possible there. The amount of things that we still have to build, would you be interested in taking a peek and maybe building something for our community or with our community? So yeah, let's take a peek at Latin America together. So you can see here behind me some different news outlets, right, saying, wow, take a look at the boom that Latin America is having towards crypto. Chainalysis has done like its usual annual report, and it has said that we host around a little bit over 9% of total transactions in crypto. Altogether, it's billions of dollars flowing in and out of different countries, and mostly in a peer-to-peer format. This is going to vary a lot depending on the country that we are talking about in Latin America. For instance, I come from Brazil, and Brazil is one of the most institutional markets for crypto. Less than 1 month ago, I was with the president of the central bank, and he was saying CBDC is real because we want DeFi. And this is his words. We want to have CBDC to allow people to do DeFi. And if you want to do your stable currencies, why don't have a bit of CBDC of a country inside whatever you're building? So this was the invitation that he was making for the developer community, not only from Brazil, but worldwide. I've been a few times, for instance, to El Salvador. I was able to host a hackathon there and also to talk to the community, and they are building different solutions. Of course, at the first moment, they were super focused on Bitcoin adoption, but now they're even discussing a stable asset legislation and how they can make like more advancements by working with the different regions. Colombia, for instance, is a super thrilling market. I don't know if any of you will be attending DevCon, but the community there, it's super savvy on crypto. They do a lot of peer-to-peer transactions. There are wallets that are doing like real-world transactions too and paying for services in Colombia at the moment. Other than that, for instance, Venezuela, they have amazing developers. They are behind some of the leading wallets that are being used throughout Latin America. Argentina is home for, as you know, awesome developers that are involved in so many projects. They're also very good with UI and UX and the way of making public what they do and what they discover. We all have, and of course there are other countries, but we all have things in common. And one of those things in common is crypto for us means a lot of things, including protecting our community from the deflation that our currencies, they survive or they go through the years. So crypto is not only about it is of course about building different things, but it's also like a way out of poverty in some cases. It's a possibility for you to connect with someone in a remote region that doesn't have access to the different resources that you have. So this is a bit of what's going on in Latin America most recently. Up here, this was a meetup that was held actually in Barcelona, but this is LatAm founders. There were over 50 LatAm founders inside the room in Barcelona discussing different things and what to do. Ethereum Rio was a huge success. It was organized by a few people who are here today in this conference, and it was a super interesting opportunity to see different stakeholders and players talking. 2 weeks ago, I was at Blockchain Summit Panama, and Blockchain Summit Panama was super interesting for one thing that I'll be talking towards the end of this presentation. There, not only, like, the government has written in their legislation towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is true in several countries of Latin America, like a wider adoption not only by the builders community, but also from like more institutional players and so on and so forth. Some of the good and interesting use cases that are taking place in Latin America I'll be exploring here, but I will do it kind of from like a personal view based on what I'm working on. So within Celo, for those who don't know, it's a layer 1 blockchain that was developed. It's proof of stake. It is a fork of Ethereum. It has like full EVM compatibility. And upon the community's choices, the validators can upgrade it to allow for stable assets. And up until this moment, there's 3 stable assets, Celo dollars, Celo euros, and Celo reais. The community in Colombia now wants to do a Celo Colombian peso to experiment with different things. So these are the assets, and these are the use cases that we and our community have been testing out so far. So Impact Market is the largest UBI protocol in the world. So they are disbursing universal basic income through different countries and very much focused on Latin America. They developed this open source. Now they have like different types of advancements in their projects. Good Dollar has like joined on Celo the mission to disperse UBI, and what's happening, for instance, in the favelas in the Brazil because of this is awesome. People are receiving crypto in the favelas and they are exchanging crypto amongst themselves, either for services or for goods, or making small payments, and they are using it for saving purposes. This is super interesting. It's a use case that happened during the pandemics. So as a way to enable people to redeem medications, like crypto cards, they were used like vouchers, and an individual could redeem something at a drugstore during the period of need in the pandemics. Some companies, for instance, some dApps, for instance, like Bitwage, they are developing different resources such as this opportunity to get paid and to get your wages paid in crypto. As far as I'm concerned, what they do is basically focus in markets like Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, and Colombia, where they see a lot of traction. Yeah, you have saving use cases. You also have some DeFi protocols and pools already working. There's Valora that also enables like different opportunities, such as sending crypto on and off Celo. And one of the things that I really wanted to show you, because I think it might be interesting. Let's see if I can do it in here.
Então hoje a gente vai aprender a pagar qualquer coisa utilizando
You can hear
criptomoedas.
already my voice
Qualquer
in
coisa.
Portuguese, right? But I need to make sure I put this video here. Can you see it? So this is an integration that was done by a developer in Brazil. You basically, you basically choose your crypto, and this is not only Celo on your wallet. You point it towards a POS machine, and you're able to pay everything that you buy in 1.6 million merchants in 5 seconds. So this is super interesting, and I think it's a good way, you know, to show how the crypto adoption is changing in Brazil. Were you able to see it out? Is it replaying once more? Cool. Things that you can do in Latin America with crypto. You can get in and out of your bank on and off ramp in less than like maybe 15 minutes, depending on the country where you are. So you get any crypto, you go to a bank, or the other way around, and you have the opportunity to, you know, have other use cases for what you're doing. So based on all the above and what I have discussed, what I wanted to propose to you guys here is the following. One, we understand that there is a $300 billion market in terms of like crypto adoption throughout Latin America. Two, we understand that the Latin American individuals, they are adopting crypto. Whether from a community standpoint or from developer standpoint, everybody's super excited into like developing other solutions. I met maybe 5 Brazilians here between yesterday and today. I'm sure there are many more, and many other people from Latin America, like Argentinians, Colombians, and all of these people, they're like super hard thinking about how to, you know, solve some of the issues that we have in our countries. But I would also like to add a different component, and this is where I'm going to link back to the experience that I just had in Panama 2 weeks ago. So I joined Panama, and we were there discussing refi, regenerative finances, right? And this has everything to do with some of the talks that initiated the day today. And while I was at the booth, at the stand, attending the population, one of the individuals approached me, and he said, "Do you know what Panama means?" And we were talking about like creating positive externalities. What is the best way, you know, to use backup assets for DeFi protocols or for different stable assets? And he approached me and he said, "Panama, the word is translated to an abundance in butterflies and fishes. The whole country was created based on the notion of the exuberant existence of natural capital." So if we look back to our histories, and I can say that very loud and clear for Latin America, we are going to figure out and realize that one thing that we have in common is tremendous and vast cultural heritage. We also have tremendous and vast nature capital. However, the logic of exploring all of this, due to the way of, you know, how the colonies have occurred and so on and so forth, have been in a way not to leave any of these like profits into our countries, but also not to leave any advancements in a sustainable manner. I know this may be a little bit like disrupting, but we are here to build other ways of doing things. So the challenge would be, can we rethink the way economies are done in Latin America? Can we preserve the nature capital? Can we preserve the history? Can we preserve the heritage that we have within our countries and make that a way to advance us out of something that I personally don't agree, which is our placement as like underdeveloped or emerging companies, technologies, people, countries. So this is my invitation for you today. If you'd like to further connect, this is my information. It's been a pleasure to be joined by you. I'll be outside if anybody wants to talk a little about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mila. I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. Any questions out there?
Come on, LatAm is gigantic.
Here we go.
Hello, thank you so much for the opportunity of making the questions, especially being from Argentina. And my question would be, understanding it's a noble purpose, an idea and an invitation to work together, what or which do you think would be the main issue to address to work better and together into the same goal?
This is a very good question, especially if we consider the current scenario that we are undergoing in Latin America in economic aspects, right? Argentina is undergoing a rough time. Brazil, the same. Inflation is very high in all of these countries in different rates and maturities. I do think we have one barrier that we don't address much commonly, which is the language, right? I speak Portuguese, you speak Spanish. And sometimes we cannot find ourselves in the middle of this path, not because we don't want, but maybe we are just attached, to other ways of watching and seeing and perceiving Latin America. So I think the first challenge to be overcome is how we from Latin America see ourselves and divide ourselves based on things that for me, they don't make much sense. The second thing that I think it's a very interesting thing to, think is how to make the serious business, like DeFi business with nature-backed capital and so on and so forth, approachable and understandable. And lean, this is what we are doing, this is what you get, these are the rules, and these are the individuals involved. Because we always face a crisis of, how do I say this? a trust crisis, right, in respect to what we do there. And this has a name, which is called like the Underdog Syndrome. Sometimes we see things coming from, you know, other countries or other things, and we say, yeah, that's cool, let's adopt. And sometimes if an Argentinian or one Brazilian pushes this forward, we don't see it the same way. And the third and last thing that I would say, it's actually like mobilizing the international working capital and social capital, and also the brains and the minds of the people to fall in love with causes and to adapt a market that is so ready to make sure that we are, you know, working together and developing together. So these are the three things that I would be looking for. And I would love to start building with you, so.
Thank you, Mila. Okay, we're going to move on to our next speaker, so you can continue, please, the discussion outside and stay and join us for more talks. Thank you again.